Good morning, students. Let us will discuss today about effects of industrial sickness. There are various effects will take place if the industries are going to be sick. We know that what do you mean by sickness? Sickness refers to the closure of an unit due to loss. That is called as sickness. That industry is called as sick unit. So what are the various effects? First one is setback to employment prospects. It means that employment condition to once again it will turn to unemployment condition, because once the industrial unit is closed, definitely all the employees will lose their employment opportunities. That means it will set back to the previous position. So this happening will takes place, that is setback to employment prospects. Second one is wastage of resources. See, inside the industry there are various types of resources like raw material, machines, and various infrastructure facilities. They are becoming simply waste if the unit is becoming closed down. That's why this problem is particularly serious for large scale sick units where they have invested a lot in the on the plant and machinery, etc. So wastage of resources will take place. Third one is adverse effect on related units. It means that the one industry is a supplement to various types of industries. If that industry is becoming sick, definitely it will get affected to other industries. For example, a textile unit is connected to other units for procuring raw materials, okay, and other inputs. Similarly, it is connected to other units to whom it supplies its finished products. So it is a chain. All are depending on each other. All the industries are depending on each other. If one industry is getting sick, definitely it is going to be get affected on other related units. Fourth effect of industrial sickness is industrial unrest. Industrial unrest means there is no peace at all. Closure of a large scale industrial unit causes widespread labor unrest and strikes. Okay, if you close down the industries, once again the employees will lose their employment opportunities. They will go for the strikes. Okay, they will not listen your profit or loss. Even though you are incurring loss, they are going for strike. Okay, and labor unrest. Unrest means once again they are losing their employment opportunities and they will get depressed. The peace of industrial environmental will be threatened, resulting in losses and loss of production in a number of units. Next, fifth one is adverse effect on investors and entrepreneurs. Once again, it's a big effect that investors will lose their confidence, because they have such a huge amount they have invested on plant and machineries, and some businesses they will carried out on a partnership basis. So at that time, if the industry is becoming closed down, definitely it is a negative effect on investors and even entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs, we know that those who are start up the business, they are called as entrepreneurs. They will also get getting disturbed. Okay. Next, sixth one is losses to banks and financial institutions. Of course, this is a common sense that even industrialists, they have taken the loan from the banks and financial institutions. If you are incurring a loss, then how you will pay the installment fees, installment payment to the banks? So definitely it is a big losses to banks and financial institutions. There are various financial institutions in India like IFCI, IDBI, and ICICI. They are incurring a huge losses on account of non-recovery of advances from industrial units. So like this, it will also get affected on banks and financial institutions. Next, seventh one is the last one, low revenue to government. Of course, when you are incurring a loss, when you are under loss, how you will pay the taxes to the government? So there is no revenue at all, or low revenue. Even though you are paying the tax, very little amount is possible to pay to the government. So it is low revenue to the government. Ultimately it will get affected on other sides also. There is no development of the public, etc. Okay, next concept is that remedies. There are some remedies found out by experts how to control the industrial sickness. Let us will see one by one what are those remedies. First remedy is commercial banks provide various concessions to sick units. Okay. They will provide various commercial banks are those banks like IFCI, ICICI, IDBI. They are called as commercial banks, and these banks are providing loans only for industries, not for any purpose. Okay, and they are providing some various concessions to sick units in order to rehabilitate them. That means they can recover themselves. Okay, they grant additional working capital to overcome the shortage of working capital faced by such units. So they are supporting in that direction. They are providing working capital to overcome the shortage of working capital. Second remedy is the RBI has set up a special cell. Cell means here committee to monitor the performance of sick units. They will observe and they will record the performance of the sick units, and they will suggest corrective measures in regard to their rehabilitation. So that cell or committee will observe thoroughly, and they will prepare the report. And third one is the third remedy is that the government has taken over the management of a number of sick undertakings under the provisions of the Industries Act 1951, with a view to reviving them by providing management support and financial assistance through banks and financial institutions. Okay. And the next fourth one is remedies. The government is also providing certain concessions for the purpose of reviving sick units without direct intervention under the Income Tax Act. So the government gives tax benefit to healthy units when they take over sick units. The tax benefit is in the form of carry forward of the accumulated business losses and unprovided depreciation of sick companies by healthy companies after amalgamation. And the next remedy is with a view to reducing industrial sickness in the small scale sector. The government has introduced a scheme known as margin money scheme in the year 1987. What is this margin money scheme? Nothing but the state government have to make a matching contribution on 50-50 basis in granting assistance to sick units in their rehabilitation. It means that 50% losses will be bared by the government and 50% you have to be paid. In that way they will go for a rehabilitation of the sick units. Next, sixth remedy is that the government established the Industrial Reconstruction Corporation of India, IRCI. Okay, with the objective of reviving and rehabilitating sick units. And in the year 1985, this IRCI is named as or renamed as IRBI, that is Industrial Reconstruction Bank of India. So ultimately, their main aim is to rehabilitate the sick units and overcome the various difficulties faced by the sick units. Seventh remedy is preventing weak industrial units from becoming sick. The RBI has advised the banks to take necessary remedial measures in respect of industrial units at the stage of 50% erosion of their net worth. Okay. And the last remedy is the government has passed the Sick Industries Companies Act 1985 with the objective of carrying out early detection of industrial sickness and taking remedial measures for rehabilitating sick industrial companies. Okay. Let us will go for the last concept of third module. It is Goswami report on sickness. So here Goswami means is the name of the person. The Committee on Industrial Sickness was set up in the year 1993 under the chairmanship of Dr. Omkar Goswami, and he has suggested or he has given the recommendations with respect to sick companies. That means how to find out the sickness and how to remove the sickness. There are some recommendations, and that's why it is going to be renamed as Goswami Committee Report on Sickness. First one is early detection of sickness. So he has made the definition of sickness in this way: default of 180 days or more on repayment to term lending institutions. So if the unit is failed within 180 days to repay the installment payment, then you can consider that unit is becoming sick according to the Goswami, okay, committee. Second one is irregularities in cash credits on working capital for 180 days. So if they are finding a very difficulty to manage the working capital from the commencement of the business till 180 days, then definitely you can consider that unit is becoming sick. Second one is amendment of Urban Land Act 1976 to improve generation of internal resources of sick companies. Okay. And the third Goswami committee report is that empower the BIFR. For BIFR means Board of Industrial Finance Reconstruction, for speedier restructuring, winding up and sale of assets of companies. So you have to give more power to BIFR for speedier restructuring. That means they are conducting very fast the survey, and how many sick units are there, how many sick units you are going to be winding up, and sale of assets of companies. So such work will be carried out by BIFR. And the last Goswami committee report on sickness is that a sick company's own reference of BIFR should be voluntary, not mandatory. So the sick unit can refer the BIFR, or it can take the help of BIFR voluntarily, only voluntarily, and it is not a compulsory. Thank you.